the most fun fairs in the country, the Plant City Strawberry Festival.
Well, maybe they don't have to go home.
Some folks aren't going home. Lee and Donna said they're going to stay for 3 more weeks just because it's been so nice to them that, since they've been here. We do have a couple of driver changes tonight, race fans. For those in your grandstands early, we'll be catching those up.
More time, I guess. It's kind of a high bank.
Down there where you're at, let's come down here and enjoy this a little bit. Driver's meet, let's go, gentlemen.
Get down there.
IHOP. Yeah, IHOP. They make them pancakes.
Good afternoon, race fans. Welcome to day 3 of the East Bay Winternationals. The winner last night, the driver this beautiful silver now, Zemco #1, Billy Pouch. Congratulations, Billy.
Thank you.
You smoked them.
Well, we're getting better all week. Last night was our night, I think.
So far, the Zemco cars have had a lot of success, except for Kevin's mishap, but you've been doing pretty good down here.
Yeah, I tell you, so far it's my best year. We got 2 wins down here. Usually I grab 1 out of 4 or 1 out of 8 between the 2 tracks, but one over at Volusia, 1 here, so we're pretty happy. I mean, we started out a little slow over there, and we started out a little slow over here catching on to the setup, but I think we're coming around pretty good now.
As a person who drives like a million different kind of cars, I don't know how many different, what's your schedule look like for 99?
Mostly sprint cars. I'm going to mostly do sprints. I dropped the modified team I was with last year. I'm going to go with my own modified team. I'm putting that together now, and that won't start up until I guess April. But when I get back from Florida here in a week or so, we go Williams Grove. It's 21st February if there ain't snow on the ground.
Don't forget Lincoln on the 20th.
Oh yeah, Lincoln on the 20th.
I noticed a different color scheme this year. What's going on with that?
Well, this is my 25th year in racing, and to kind of talk about it, we painted the car silver, you know, for my 25th, so just something different.
Well, 25 years of racing, you are having a good start. We'll see what you can do tonight.
Yeah, hopefully everything will go good. You know, I tell you, the crew's been doing good for me, and you know, I like to thank John B. Lisa Minus for putting me in good equipment. You know what it takes to win races, and it takes good equipment. It takes guys who know how to turn wrenches, make you go fast.
All righty, well, thanks a lot. Good luck.
Thank you.
This is Raymond Hensley. Raymond Hensley, keep in mind we're looking at 12.656. The track record, we don't know how fast the track is. We'll know in a few minutes. Raymond Hensley, 13.345. 13.345. First lap time on car number 70, Raymond Hensley. 13.348. 13.348. The man to keep your eyes on. He had a quick one last night. Car number 88F from Zion, Illinois, in one of the Eagle chassis cars. This is Mike Frost. Mike Frost. 13.212. 13.212. First lap time on Mike Frost. 13-0-16. We're going to get another one very fast last night. Franklin, Pennsylvania driver. Franklin, Pennsylvania. Car number 6, Bob Felmley. Bob Felmley in car number 6. 13-3-8-0. 13-3-8-0. 13-0-3-2. 13-0-3-2. 13-0-3-2, the second fastest time of the night. On the track now, one of Missouri's favorites, Breezy Whitworth. Car number 96, Breezy Whitworth. 13-4-8-0, Breezy Whitworth from Queen City, Missouri. 13-2-1-5, the second lap time on Breezy Whitworth. 13-2-1-5 on the track now is Greg Hodnett, Memphis, Tennessee. 12-9-0-5, 12-9-0-5, we're in the 12 seconds. 12-8-2-7. 12-8-2-7 for Greg Hodnett. 12-8-2-7. That's going to be one of the fastest of the night. 12-8-2-7. Kenny Jacobs in the 21G. Kenny Jacobs. (13-4-9-7). 13-4-9-7.
13-3-3-9. 13-3-3-9. On the clock now, the 9 car, Boston Reed from Kokomo, Indiana. 14-2-5-4. 14-2-5-4. First lap time for Boston Reed. 13-8-1-1. 13-8-1-1. Second lap time for Boston Reed. Now on the track, the 9 car of Gary Wright out of Hooks, Texas. 12-9-5-8. 12-9-5-8. First lap time for Gary Wright. 12-8-1-2. 12-8-1-2. Second lap time for Gary Wright. So far, that's fast time. The 1M of Jim Mohan. 13-3-4-1. 13-3-4-1. First lap time for Jim Mohan from Springfield, Illinois. 13-3-1-7. 13-3-1-7. Second lap time for Jim Mohan. 13-5-0-0 is the first lap time for Billy Pouch, last night's feature winner, now on the track. 13-1-5-1. 13-1-5-1.
They're going to shake hands. Uh-oh. I thought they were going to shake hands. Apparently not.
Well, this has been brewing all week, Jack.
Well, it's been brewing for 2 weeks now. We've
Yep.
had this coming to a head for 2 weeks. We got a clown on the racetrack and a clown on the flag stand, and these guys can't figure out which one wants to be the lead. Now, I scored at 2-1 last night, favor of Kenny Marshall. The 98 East Bay Raceway track champion. Kenny Adams driving the Joe Hars Racing Team, car number 88 from Malabar, Florida, Kenny Adams. 13-2-3-2, 13-2-3-2. Good job, Speedo. 13-2-3-2. 13-0-6. 076. This is the 22D Lockburn, Ohio driver, Harrison Trucking Car, Rodney Duncan. Rodney Duncan in 22D. 13-0-2-4. 13-0-2-4. Rodney Duncan in 22D. 13-0-2-4. 12-9-7-9. 12-9-7-9. There's a lot of cars to 12s, Doug. 12-9-7-9 on the track now. On the track is the U2. Paul McMahon from Oroville, California. Paulie McMahon. 13-0-7-6. 13-0-7-6. Paul McMahon in the U2. 13-0-5-9. 13-0-5-9.
Terry Pletch on the track. He'll come around for the white flag this time around. First qualifying lap. 13-5-4-0. 13-5-4-0. First lap time for Terry Pletch. 13-4-5-3. 13-4-5-3.
Leonard Lee, a regular at Knoxville, Iowa, the Milo, Iowa boy.
13-3-3-8. 13-3-3-8. First lap time for Leonard Lee. 13-2-0-0. 13-2-0-0. Ron Laney from Humboldt, Texas, driving the 52. 13-3-9-9. 13-3-9-9. First lap time for Ron Laney. 13-4-2-6. 13-4-2-6. Second lap time for Ron Laney. Now on the track, the 92 of Danny Smith. 13-1-2-7. 13-1-2-7. First lap time for Danny Smith in the 92. 13-0-1-5. 13-0-1-5. Second lap time for Danny Smith. Now on the track, an East Bay Raceway regular out of Tampa, Florida, Johnny Gilbertson. 13-5-0-9. 13-5-0-9. First lap time for Johnny Gilbertson. 13-3-9-4. 13-3-9-4. Second lap time for Johnny Gilbertson. Ed Lynch Jr. on the track, driving the 2L. 13-0-9-2. 13-0-9-2. First lap time for Ed Lynch Jr. 12-9-7-7. 12-9-7-7. Second lap time for Ed Lynch Jr.
1998 champion on the track right now, Jeff Shepard, the 4J. Jeff Shepard, 12.839, 12.839, first lap for Jeff Shepard. New track record! 12.508, a new track record for Jeff Shepard.
Ike Worthington, the number 88 car. .886. 13.886. First lap time for Ike Worthington. .14061. 14.061. Second lap time for Ike Worthington in the 88. Now on the track, the 17 car. That's Joey Saldana. 12.861. 12.861. First lap time for Joey Saldana. 12.933. 12.933. Second lap time for Saldana. Up Atkinson now on the track. The 461 of Lance DeWeese. 12.904. 12.904. First lap time for Lance DeWeese. 12.788. 12.788. Second lap time for Lance DeWeese. Third fastest so far. 15.440. Second lap time for Johnny Bankston. Now on the track driving the number 7 car. It's Kevin Huntley from Bloomington, Indiana. 13.016. 13.016. First lap time for Kevin Huntley. 12.967. Now on the track, the 55 car. That's Tim Schaefer. 12.923. 12.923. 12.930.
Here's number 88. This will be Joe Gertie from Rochester, Indiana. Joe Gertie. 12.979. 12.979. First lap on Joe Gertie, one of the Holbrook cars. 12.942. 98 All-Iowa champion, Terry McCarl from Pleasant Hill, Iowa. 12.988. 12.988. First lap time on 24, Terry McCarl. 13.060. 12.466. And once again, it's Danny Lasowski at 12.440. Jack Huntenshield on the track. Wooster, Ohio's Jack Huntenshield. 12.834. 12.834. 12.773. 12.773. Second lap time on Jack Huntenshield. This is Dean Jacobs. Dean Jacobs. 12.939. 12.939. Dean Jacobs. The track is 23S. The Schaff Motorsports car, Frankie Kerr. Frankie Kerr. 13.044. 13.044. The first lap time on 23 as Frankie Kerr. 12.883. 12.883. The second lap time on Frankie Kerr. On the track is the 88 of Todd Schaefer. Car number 88T, Millerstown, Pennsylvania, the Gary Beam car. Todd Schaefer. 13.725. 13.725. Todd Schaefer. Top four cars get to go to the main event. The top four go to the main event. The others go to the B and the C feature. Well, racing fans on the flag stand tonight. The young man up in lead flag right now is Julian Mullis from Lakeland, Florida. Behind him, one of his tutors, a veteran out of Orange County Fair Speedway in New York, ladies and gentlemen, Kenny Marshall. Julian's on the flag right now. Looking at turn number 4, the white line. They'll pick that pace up. Former All-Star champion Kevin Huntley on the inside of front row. Look at lead. Joey Saldana on the outside. Here comes Lasowski. Saldana, Huntley, Lasowski, DeWeese. Mike Frost, Kenny Adams up on the outside. Breezy Whitworth. Saldana pulls it out in front. Adams up into 5th. He's going to be top 4 to transfer. Way out in front. Kevin Huntley, Danny Lasowski, Lance DeWeese, Kenny Adams, Mike Frost, Breezy Whitworth, Todd Schaefer. Second, Huntley and Lasowski. Lasowski on the inside. Lasowski on the inside takes over second. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Mike Frost. Well, that's going to change the ball game a little bit. It's going to back them all up and put them together. 8 laps have been completed of a 10-lap qualifying heat race. Green stripe single file, 3 laps remaining of the first United Express line heat race. They'll come off at turn 4 looking at that orange cone right down in front of the starter stand. Julian Mullis has that green flag in his hand. They must come nose to tail. Single file, nose to tail. Saldana. Kenny Adams up on the outside. Adams got to make his move now. He's got to do it right now. Adams comes back to the inside of last DeWeese. Adams on the move. Saldana, 2 to go. White flag, 1 to go. Down to the checker flag. There's the winner, Joey Saldana. Yeah. Running second, the number 7 car of Kevin Huntley. Third will go to the number 1 of Danny Lasowski, and making his first feature race in the Florida Swing in the Joe Hars car. 88, Kenny Adams will now make the feature race.
The Ford Pace trucks to the infield. We're going to go green this time. Round out of turn 4 with the Southwest Express line. Heat number 2. Jeff Shepard into the lead in turn 1. Gonna go yellow, not gonna make it happen.
That ain't gonna make Jeff Shepard very happy, that restart, because boy, did he make a move. Something happened to Ed Lynch Jr.'s car coming off the line. He did not pick up.
Turn 1, we'll see if he's okay on the restart. Okay, here we go. Ed Lynch Jr. out in front of the inside. Frankie Kerr. Lynch through 4. Lynch holds the position. Frankie Kerr taking another look to the inside of Ed Lynch Jr. Not making it work. Ed Lynch Jr. still your leader through 3 and 4. Lynch again holding off Kerr through turn 2 down the backstretch. We're not done yet through 3 and 4. Lynch and Kerr still battling up front. Winker in the 10W pulls to the infield. Down the backstretch, drag racing into 3 and 4. Kerr on the inside in the 23. The 2L of Ed Lynch Jr. on the outside. Kerr takes the position. Lynch looks to the inside, can't make it stick. Here comes Jeff Shepard. Ed Lynch Jr., Jeff Shepard, Gary Wright, the 55 of Mike Wagner in 5th. Shepard to the inside of Lynch. Shepard takes the position down the backstretch. Frank still your leader, Jeff Shepard now running second in the 4J. Then the 2L of Lynch, the 9 of Wright. Transfer positions right now. Now Wright looks to the inside of Lynch. He'll take 3rd down the backstretch. The 9 of Boston Reed to the inside. Out in front. Then the 4J of Jeff Shepard, the 9 of Wright, the 2L of Ed Lynch Jr. Those right now your transfer spots. White flag. Two corners for Kerr. Checkers. Frankie Kerr. Here he is coming out of turn 4, the winner of the Southwest Express line, heat number 2, Frankie Kerr. Second in the 4J, Jeff Shepard. Third, that 9 car, that's Gary Wright. Fourth and final qualifying spot, the 2L of Ed Lynch Jr. Finishing 5th, the 55 car of Mike Wagner. Top 4 qualified to the A main. Remember those 50-50 tickets. 50-50 girls coming through the stands. Make sure you buy your 50-50 ticket. Should be a big one tonight.
A little over $700 already. The winner's half share of the 50-50 drawing, over $700 already. We're going to have a big one. Watch the Tampa Bay Women's Benevolent Association coming through the grandstands. Around the outside, Tim Schaefer. Here comes Kelly Kitzer on the inside. Family racing before Johnny Gilbinson. Billy Couch. The race for 4th place. Family holding 4th. Look out, Gilbinson up on the back straightaway. Held it. Holy, yeah, he's all right. Family fighting for 4th place, and Pouch looked like he caught A little bit of bobble in turn 2, putting back into 5th. Halfway. Tim Schaefer's your leader. Rodney Duncan running 2nd. Kelly Kitzer running 3rd. Bob Felmery 4th. Billy Pouch is 5th. Johnny Mackinson holding on to 6th place, but Tim Schaefer way out in front. Rodney Duncan holding on to 2nd place. Kelly Kitzer running 3rd. Bob Felmery 4th. Billy Pouch running 5th. One more time. Billy Pouch is going to end up in the B main. Now with the checkers. Winning the Southwest Class 3rd qualifying heat race, car number 55S, all by himself, Tim Schaefer. Finishing 2nd, 22D, Rodney Duncan. Finishing 3rd, the 4K of Kelly Kitzer. And the final transfer spot goes to car number 6, Bob Felmery.
Position. We look to be about ready to go. We'll give him white flag, green next time around. There's the field. Your pole sitter, the 24 of Terry McCarl. Outside front row, the 8 of Dean Jacobs. Dean Jacobs and Joe Gertie driving very similar looking cars. Joe will be, I believe, in the next heat. Yeah, he'll be in the next heat race number 5. Dean Jacobs has the yellow on the front of the wing. Joe Gertie has the white on the front of the wing. Here it is. Over in turn 1. The 1M of Jim Mohan slows. He'll pick it back up now, but out front, Terry McCall, the 24. To the side looks Gobrek. Gobrek and Jacobs for 2nd. Gobrek takes over 2nd into turn 3 and 4. Leader Kevin Gobrek 2nd, Dean Jacobs 3rd. Here comes Greg Hodnett in the 12 into turn 3. He'll take over 3rd position. Jacobs back to the inside. Can't make it stick. Ron Laney in the 52 now running 5th. McCall in the lap traffic. Miller pulls off down the backstretch, the 12 car of Miller. So from the 24 of Terry McCarl. Kevin Gobrek, the 11, runs 2nd. The 12 of Hodnett, 3rd. Dean Jacobs 4th in the 8. One more lap. Right now, Terry McCall, Kevin Gobrek, Greg Hodnett, and Dean Jacobs in qualifying positions with 2 more corners till checkers. Checkers. So there's your winner of heat race number 4 of the United Specialties heat, the 24 of Terry McCarl. Finishing 2nd, the 11 car of Kevin Gobrek. 3rd, the 12 of Greg Hodnett. 4th and final qualifying spot, Dean Jacobs in the 8. Finishing 5th, the 52L of Ron Laney. 6th, the 31 of Dave Moulis. Then the 51, that's Jared Hall.
Bring the field around now for the 5th qualifying heat race, the 3rd night of the All-Star Circuit of Champions here at East Bay Raceway. And by feature time tonight, we're going to have an idea what's happening. I'm going to bet we're going to go way over $1,000 tonight. I don't remember what it was last night, $1,200 and some odd dollars. But I got a feeling the Tampa Bay Women's Group is going to put a lot of tickets in that barrel tonight for drawing. So be a part of it. Thank you, fans. We appreciate it. Here we go. Danny Smith, Joe Gertie, Fred Raymer, Jack Huttenfield, Paulie McMahon, and Leonard Lee, the front 6 cars. We go green. Joe Gertie, the race for 2nd, Huttenfield and Danny Smith. Paulie McMahon now running 4th, Freddie Raymer's 5th, Leonard Lee running 6th, Kenny Jacobs is 7th. As they stretch it out down the backside. Leonard Lee gets inside of Freddie Raymer, takes over 5th place, now working on the Californian, Paul McMahon. The leader, Joe Gertie. Danny Smith and Jack Huttenfield racing for 2nd. Top 6 cars are now stretched out with about 5 car lengths in between each of the cars. Joe Gertie is the leader. Danny Smith running 2nd. Jack Huttenfield is 3rd. Paul McMahon running 4th. Freddie Raymer is 5th. Leonard Lee running 6th. Kenny Jacobs is 7th. Running in the 8th spot is Scott Bunnell. And now running 9th is Raymond Shank in the 7X. The number 18 of Brian Carlson up in turn number 1, trying to stay out of the way as the field of cars moves by Brian Carlson. 230, white flag one more time. He'll be down with a checkered flag, Joe Gertie, Danny Smith, and Jack Huttenfield. Well, your winner, car number 8H, Joe Gertie. One of the Holbrook cars, Joe Gertie the winner, finishing 2nd in 92 was Danny Smith from Indiana. 3rd, the Ohio driver, Jack Huttenfield in the 22. 4th goes to Paul McMahon in the U2. Those top 4 cars line up for the night's main event.
Joe back the 4 piece trucks to the infield. We're ready to go racing. The seating event sponsored by Georgia Marketing and Promotions. Going green in turn 4. Hold on. Gilbertson to the inside. Gilbertson, your leader, out of turn 2. Hensley in 2nd. Here comes Ron Laney, the 52, in 3rd. Very high, the 3 car of Donnell gathers it back up. Gilbertson still out front. Gilbertson on the 3 car. Hensley running 2nd in the 70. 3rd, the 52 of Laney. The 52 of Rowe. The 88 of Todd Schaefer. Still up front, looking very strong, the 3 car, the Mulligan number 3 of Johnny Gilbertson of Tampa. Raymond Hensley, the 70 car, running 2nd. Ron Laney of Humble, Texas, 3rd. Here comes Rowe in the 52. Stretching out his lead out front. Hensley second, Laney third, Rowe fourth. Schaefer just outside of qualifying position. On the board, 12-lap event. Johnny Gilbertson still out front. Hensley running second. Rowe smoking in turn three. Turn three. Pletch smoking it in turn three. That'll tighten back up the field. Here we go, we're green. Schaefer to the outside. Todd Schaefer battling for third with Ron Laney. Laney jumps ahead and he'll try to battle for second with Hensley. Yellow, yellow, yellow. All right, we'll go this time round. All eyes on the number 3 car. That's the Mulligan number 3 of Johnny Gilbertson. Hensley looks to the outside through 1 and 2. Gilbertson on the inside. Hensley on the outside. Gilbertson dives to the bottom through 3 and 4. Hensley takes over position. Contact out of turn 4. The 52 of Laney falls into second. Gilbertson now in third. Johnny Gilbertson battling through 3 and 4. Oh, both cars getting together in turn 4. Gathering it back up, Johnny Gilbertson. Todd Schaefer went to the back. He's now dogfighting for 4th through 3 and 4. Todd Schaefer takes over 4th out of turn 4. Hensley up front in the 70. Slowing on the backstretch, the 3X of Scott Bonnell. Yellow out on the track. The 3X of Scott Bonnell slows in 3 and 4. Green this time around. The 70 of Raymond Hensley. The 52 of Laney. Then the 52 of Rowe. That's the black 52. The 88 of Todd Schaefer, just outside of qualifying position, the 3 car of Johnny Gilbertson. Picking up the base for green. Laney looks to the inside through 1 and 2, but can't get Hensley. Hensley holding off down the backstretch. This time around we'll see white. Once again Laney on the 52 diving to the bottom out of turn 4. Leader, the 70 car checkers this time around. One more shot for Laney into turn 3. He dives low in the 52. Hensley holds him off. So there's your finish and there's your winner to the C main event sponsored by Georgia Marketing and Promotions. Your winner, the 70 car of Raymond Hensley. Finishing second, the 52L of Ron Laney. Third, the 52H of John Rowe. Then the 88 of Todd Schaefer. Those are your 4 qualifiers. Moving on to the B main event.
Well, Raymond, I'll tell you what. I'll have you slide down into the middle here, and I'll hold on to this end. We get a chance to talk about this C main. Bit tedious at times, I'll bet. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, we come out of here and I got around him on that restart. We bumped tires and I thought for sure I had a flat tire. And then somebody died down the back straightaway and a yellow come out for instead of the checker. And I thought that was it. I was going to have to pull her in. But it seemed to hold out for the rest of the race.
Now you get to move on, take the Maxim chassis car into the next race. Tell me what you learned on that and what kind of changes you think you might have to make to the race car.
We're just learning every day as we're down here. It's having such a tough time as it is. just like to try to work into tomorrow night's deal. Too bad we're not qualifying tomorrow. We got to run that points thing tomorrow, but we'll give her as best we can.
Well, we wish you the best of luck and congratulations on the Georgia Marketing and Promotion C-Main win.
Thank you very much.
It's Raymond Hensley, the C-Main winner, our Georgia Marketing and Promotion C-Main. Just a minute.
And the Jared Bonneford Pace Trucks lead the field around. These are the 6 fastest cars in qualifying tonight. The 6 fastest. Here come the Pace Trucks off the speedway. And we'll go next time around. Kenny Marshall on the flag stand looks over, points at that white line down in turn 4. It'll be 5 laps and 5 laps only. Whoever gets that first turn first may be the man. Here we go. Hunshield. Jack Hunshield on the outside takes the lead. Here comes Kelly Kitzer. Kelly Kitzer up on the inside. Laskowski trying to follow him too. Way back to the top is Lance Deweese. These are the 6 fastest cars, and Hunshield's got him out in front. They're racing now for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th as Jack Hunshield appears to have the field covered. 2-0. Gobrecht has dropped back to that 6th spot inside of Lance Deweese, and Deweese is now back in 6th. White flag. Checkered flag, yeah! Wow! We finally got Jack Hunshield cranked up, and he's fast. The winner of the 5-lap Gene Lynch Appreciation Trophy Dash, Kelly Kitzer, 2nd, the 4K. 3rd goes to the 1Z of Danny Laskowski. The 1L. 4th to go to the 4J of Jeff Shepard. 5th to the 11 of Kevin Gobrecht. And 6th to the 461 of Lance Deweese. And that's how they're finished.
So your front row, the 461 of Lance Deweese sitting on the pole. Outside of him in the 65 car, Johnny Mackison. Jared Bonneford Ford Pace Trucks to the infield. We're ready to go green. Look at the lineup in this United Express Line B main feature. We're ready to go. Here we go. Green flag. Turn one. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Brian Cheney, the 20S. Hits the wall in turn 1, bringing out the caution flag. All right, the United Express Line B feature.
The United Express Line B feature?
That's right, the United Express Line B feature on the track. Mackison out front. Deweese falls into 2nd. Here comes Freddie Raymer on the high side in the 77. Wagner in the 55. He pulls into 3rd. Here comes Raymer back in the 77. Back up front. Deweese tries to pull to the low side and can't make it stick under the 65 of Johnny Mackison. Mackison and Deweese. Deweese tries to get a nose under. Mackison through 3 and 4. Still riding up front for position. Here comes Deweese again to the low side into turn 3. The 461 of Deweese running 2nd. Out front the 65 of Mackison. The 55 of Mike Wagner running 3rd. The 1B of Billy Pouch running 4th. The 77 of Raymer 5th. 4 cars to the A main event. inside of Wagner. Can't make it work. Falls back into fourth. DeWeese to the inside. Mackison again holding off the 461 of Lance DeWeese. And here comes the 55 of Wagner. The 65. Holding off the 462. Here comes DeWeese again into three. Turn four, turn four, turn four. Whoa, everybody makes it through. 16L of Leonard Lee sits in turn four. Everybody making it by. Looked like we might have a kind of hairy moment in this United Express Line B feature. Out of turn four. Keep an eye on the 65 car, Johnny Mackison. Flag. Wagner looks to the inside for second. He'll take second from DeWeese, and here comes Billy Pouch. The 51 car of Jared Hull pulls to the inside of Raymer. He'll take a position. Here comes Kenny Jacobs. Cross off the pace down the backstretch of the 88 car. Up front, Mackison, the 65. Wagner, 50. Turn four, turn four, turn four. John Bankston rolling through turn four in the 8 car. Joe Rowe in the 52 sets in the wrong direction. We saw John Bankston take a hard run into turn 1 the other night. Now taking a barrel roll out of turn 4.
You know, something obviously happened to Mike Frost's car in the 88, Doug. He slowed down, could not get down because our cars below him, and by the time the other cars came around, they made contact with him. Both the guys.
All right, this time around, Johnny Mackison, your leader. Wagner, DeWeese, Pouch. Raymer on the outside. Smoke coming out of the 461 of Lance DeWeese. DeWeese running third, smoking very badly out of turn 4. Still up front, the 65 car of Mackison. With the 55 of Wagner. DeWeese in the 461, third. Billy Pouch running fourth. Raymer fifth, and Hull challenging for fifth in the 51. 15 lap event. 2 laps to go. Still in front, Johnny Mackison, the 65 car. The pace in turn 1. DeWeese is slowing in 2. So Lance DeWeese running third, going up in smoke. Sits over in turn 2. The 1Z, Billy Pouch, the 77 of Freddie Raymer. Those are your top 4 right now. Looking to qualify to the A main. Hull looking to move up 1 position. Here we go. Freddie Raymer tries the outside of Pouch. Can't make it work. Mackison still up front in the 65. White flag one more time. Raymer to the inside of Pouch. Pouch is still running third. Here comes the 51 of Hull for that last qualifying position through 3 and 4. Hull on the inside, Raymer on the outside. Raymer. Turn 4, the winner of the United Express Line B feature, the 65 car of Johnny Mackison. Finishing second, the 55W of Mike Wagner. Third, the 1Z, Billy Pouch. Fourth, the 77 car, Freddie Raymer. Those are your 4 qualifiers moving on to the A main event.
Well, racing fans, his helmet's off. Driving the Floyd Swoop machine from start to finish. Put your hands together for the United Express Live B main winner, Johnny Mackison Jr. Well, I'll tell you what, Johnny, that at times had to be a bit tedious in your position as well, just like the C main winner.
Yeah, it was. We've been struggling all week long. We're just basically we're glad to be in the show tonight.
Early on in that race, you sure had a lot of that 461 poking its head in there on the inside. What was going on in your mind at that point?
Just try to stay out front. And I was just honestly trying to make the show tonight, get some quality laps and work on the car.
Late in the race, we had, of course, a red flag at lap 10. Then, of course, the yellow come out. What goes on in a driver's mind at that point, knowing you're sitting pretty at this point, but things could definitely change?
Well, we didn't want to really mess with the car a whole lot. It seemed like we had them covered enough for what we got to do now. Just trying to make plans what we got to do for later on this evening.
Give me an idea what those plans might be as you prepare for the A-main.
We got just new rubber right now, fuel, maybe a couple little tweaks here and there.
That's Johnny Mackison, the winner of United Express Line B-main event. Put your hands together one more time for him and get prepared for some more GM powertrain Frisbees just as soon as picture-taking duties are done here on the front stretch. We'll see if he has a little better arm than our C-main winner. That was not good.
Time trials tomorrow night. The top 6 cars in points after 3 nights of racing will be lined up for tomorrow night's main event. Everybody else will have to run heat races lined up with the points they earned for the first 3 days. Here we come. All you folks down there, stand up, raise your hats up. Go ahead and stretch one more time. Let these drivers know you enjoy it. It's a salute to the grandstands. It's a salute to the grandstands. Let them hear it all the way down the front straightaway. Bring them around, make them feel good. Their blood is ready to curl. They're ready to race. All the way down to turn 1, yes. Thank you all. They ready. Sprint Car Fan Appreciation Club, $100 bonus if Billy Pouch can repeat. Well, ladies and gentlemen, last night's feature winner starting last in tonight's feature. Look at here. Jack Huntenshield, Gary Wright, 2 of the toughest slugging-out race car drivers in the world, sitting on the front row. Gary Wright, Jack Huntenshield, Kevin Gobrecht, Kelly Kinser, Jeff Shepard, Danny Lasowski, Johnny Mackison, Freddie Raymer. Oh, Mike and back. Get ready. 25 laps. Green flag this time. White line in turn 4. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're green. We're green. Into turn 1, Gary Wright breaks out in front. Gary Wright will go, and Gary Wright jetted away. He jetted away from the field. Gary Wright, check it out. Jack Huntenshield, Danny Lasowski now running 3rd. Kelly Kinser's 4th. Kevin Gobrecht is 5th. Gary Wright stretching the field out in the first 3 laps. Unbelievable. Gary Wright is gone. Jack Huntenshield running 2nd. Third, 4th, Jeff Shepard and Kevin Gobrecht. Shepard's up into 4th, Gobrecht 5th to the outside. And Gobrecht goes back into 4th to race for 4th and 5th. Gary Wright has caught the lap traffic down the back straightaway. And Gary Wright gets a piece at the back of Kevin Hundley. Has closed the gap. Danny Lasowski's closed the gap. Holy cow. Billy Pouch is one of them, but did you see the close call for Gary Wright? The leader, Gary Wright, he bounced off the inside of that other car that's up on Billy Pouch's car. Bob Felbley in the 6th. Bob Felbley in the 6th car, Billy Pouch in the 1 car. Holy cow, what a miss. Gary Wright comes through the middle.
As we see Billy Pouch get restarted. So 2 cars will be finished tonight as Billy Pouch races on.
lost 2 cars, but Gary Wright gained. If he did not hit him hard, Gary Wright gained a free track ahead of him for a little while. Gary broke out in front very quickly, took that commanding lead. Here we go, here we go. Into turn 1, and everyone makes it through, and Gary Wright breaks out in front one more time. Jack Hutchfield chasing down Billy Lasowski, running third. Up on the inside. Jeff Shepard cuts across the front of Kevin Gobrecht, takes over fourth. As they get high and wild all the way down the back straightaway, running side by side. The race now for that 4th, 5th, and 6th position all the way back through the field as they're running too deep. Gary Wright still stretches out his lead, one out in front. Jack Hutchfield, Danny Lasowski, Jeff Shepard, Kevin Gobrecht, Kelly Kitzer, Freddie Raymer, Greg Hodnett up on the inside. Craig D. Kerr working on Hodnett. Joey Saldana, Terry McCarl, Joe Gurney, Johnny Mackinson, Dean Jacobs. Kenny Adams up on the inside has moved up 5 positions. Adams has moved up 5 spots to the drop of the flag. It's a 25-lap main event. Lap main event. Gary Wright now catching the tail end cars again as Gary Wright moves up on the back of Kevin Huntley. He's now catching lap cars in the back straightaway with Jack Hutchfield running behind him halfway point. Halfway 25 lap feature. Gary Wright now moves to the outside and Kevin Huntley. And Gary Wright's front wheels were up off the ground. Here comes Danny Lasowski inside of Jack Hutchfield. Gary Wright leads him off the turn off of 4. Gary Wright down into 1. Hans on the inside of Huntley. Jim Shepard's working up on the inside of Dan Lasowski and Kevin Gobrecht running in behind. Gary Wright now up on the inside of Ed Lynch Jr. Jack Hutchfield tapped on the outside. Lasowski comes to the inside. Up high on the outside, Lasowski gets down close. They're 3 deep coming up at turn 2. Gary Wright continues to move out in front as Jack Hutchfield's caught back in traffic. Lasowski caught back there. Gobrecht now running 4th again. Jim Shepard's back in 5th. Kelly Jeff Shepard moves up ahead of Kevin Gobrecht. And now Lasowski's closed in one more time on Hutchfield as Hutt tries to close in on Gary Wright. It's anybody's race with 5 laps remaining. Anybody's race, 5 to go. Jeff Shepard, Kevin Gobrecht. Indication, 2-lap indication, 2 to go, Gary Wright. Jack Hutchfield and Danny Lasowski, Jeff Shepard. Kevin Gobrecht running 5th. White flag for Gary Wright, white flag, 1 to go. Hahn tries to close in, can't get through the traffic. A 3-car race for second. A 3-car race for second. Shepard up on the inside of Lasowski. Lasowski goes high. Gobrecht down below him. Holy cow. What a good run. As you folks are working your way out, would you mind picking up the cushions that the ladies have rented you to use for tonight? It'd be really a lot of help if you could carry the cushions back down. just toss them over by the Women's Racing Association booth. They'd sure appreciate that. Please help carry the seat cushions back out as you go. It would give the girls a lot of help. They're here until 1 o'clock in the morning picking up rental cushions, and they did feel nice to sit on. Sosky's going to settle for 4th. 5th is going to go to Kevin Gobrecht in the 11th. 6th will go to the 12 car, Greg Hodnett. 7th to the 77 Freddie Raymer. These are unofficial, Freddie Raymer, and then the 55S of Schaefer, then the 23 of Frankie Kerr, the 24 of Terry McCarl. Those are unofficial until all the lap sheets have been counted, and we'll do that in just a few minutes. But right now, what a happy young man. He's had a lot of tough luck this year down in the state of Florida. He knew he was due for a win. Let's go down trackside to Dave Reeve and Gary Wright. Go ahead, Dave.
Oh, thank you very much. Race fans, put your hands together for Gary. He's out of the car. Tremendous job done by this driver tonight. And let me give you a little insight. What you up in the stands probably don't know, Gary Wright drove that entire race from the second lap on with a broken Jacobs ladder on the right side of the car. So it was a handful all night long. How about that, though? A tremendous job done with a guy with a broken race car. Wow. I was going to say, you'd be the first to tell us you had your hands full, but that may be an understatement, huh?
Well, I tell you what, when a Jacobs ladder breaks like that, when you run into the turn, the weight all shifts to the right. So it was really tight, but we've had such a tough Florida this year that I was going to keep racing until it quit.
Give us an idea how tough some of those lap cars were. It really looked like you got bottlenecked, but when you don't have a car that handles right, that's bound to happen.
Well, I tell you what, this Maxim car, the car was so good. If this Maxim car would have had the Jacobs ladder, I believe we could have really rolled the turn. But the Pro Shocks, the line of engines, we got a heck of a setup.
Now let me throw a scenario at you. Say Lance DeWeese does make this deal and you start 4th, catch the same luck. Can you win starting 4th with a broken ladder like that?
No, I had to have an open track. The lap cars wasn't as fast as the guys behind me, so with an open track I could keep the car winged down and I could race it. But in lap track it was really tough. It got real tight on the right rear. Did you know you had a broken Jacobs ladder? And I suppose it probably was when you went green flag racing that you finally realized that, huh? Well, as hard as I hit them, that's lucky it's all broke because, I hit them a ton down there when they spun. There was nowhere to go, and I said, well, here we go in another wreck. So, it's been tough dodging them this week, but we're trying, and like I say, everything's great. The crew, Dave Osh and Ernie and my dad and everybody, Fred, they all, I got to say thanks to F&J Construction and Panel Motorsports. What a tremendous drive. Congratulations on that drive. Thanks a lot. Gary Wright, the All-Star Circuit of Champions winner. Unbelievable what he just pulled off, racing fans, minus a Jacobs ladder on the right side. You talk about gaining. You were doing some serious gaining once those lap cars were getting to be a factor there. You had a shot a couple times.
Yeah, I did. Gary's just, he runs hard through traffic, and we just chased him, and we just didn't get it done.
What would it have taken?
Maybe 50 laps.
Maybe 50 laps. Jack Cottonchild would have won this thing. But tonight, the All-Star Circuit of Champions, second place finisher in the Big Daddy's car, Jack Cottonchild, second place.